Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? Stop what you're doing and listen.
DOD45.
Holy smokes, it's episode 80 already.
Yay!
Episode 80 is a pretty cool milestone. It's nowhere near as many as a lot of our contemporary podcasts, but it's also nothing to slouch at. What does it matter? We're here, and boy, am I glad to be here and very excited to share with you our guests for this episode 80 of the DOD45 Show. Our guests on this episode are Slugghead, brother and sister duo Nalei Soul Taeoalii. That last name sounds familiar, doesn't it? It should, because that's our last name, and you guessed it, they're our kids. We're not having them on because they're our children, though, because that would be lame. We're having them on because they have an album coming out on December 29th, and they're performing it live for their album release show on December 28th at the Beehive venue inside of Mark of the Beastro in Salt Lake City, Utah. Soul and Nalei join us to discuss their music, their upcoming show, and where their inspirations to create what they call avant-garde music comes from. We realize how bizarre it is to have our children on our podcast to talk about their music, but when you see and hear these two, you'll realize that bizarre equals comfort zone. They have been traveling with us to art shows all across the world since the day they were born, and they've been witness to more things than most people in the back nine of their lives. So we talk about some of their first and favorite concerts they went to when they were younger, their beginnings as musicians, and they also have the chance to air their grievances with how we raised them and dragged them all across the country for art shows. It's a quick episode, and I think you'll be surprised just how fun our conversation is, and I also think when you get a taste of their music, you're gonna wish you lived in Utah so you could attend their show on the 28th. For those of you who are in Salt Lake, clear your schedule, get your best costume or night attire together because you've got an album release party to attend to. So wipe off that dripping mascara, pull the nylons over your head, crack your knuckles, and prepare yourself for our artistic family affair on this episode 80 of the DOD45 Show. Peace.
DOD45.
Greetings, everybody. Hello. Welcome back from the Christmas. Hopefully you all had a great Christmas and a great Hanukkah and all of those things. I hope that you all got to spend great time with your families, etc. We're I don't know where or dear.
We're looking forward to New Year's.
We're looking forward to the 2024. There you go. Thank you. Are we speaking of your new haircut, Adrian?
Sure, go ahead.
I like it. I like the bangs. How do you feel about it?
It's weird. They want to curl in different directions, but I don't know. I'm going with it.
How long has it been since you had bangs?
Since I was about 8.
So about 20 years.
Yeah, I'm 28.
All right. Well, we're cut close on time because one of the people, our guests, have to go to work. So we're gonna try to cruise through this intro. There's a lot to discuss in the intro.
Oh shoot! Our guests have my phone, and my phone has my song.
Oh well, you can.
I don't know how to get a hold of them.
You can run and ask them real quick.
Can you text on your computer?
Yeah, I can text them. I can just call them. Who should I call? Who are you gonna call? Ghostbusters?
Actually, I think I know what it's called.
Okay, so all right. Our guest today is the band Slugghead, a brother and sister duo, Nalei and Soul. So thank you everybody for joining us here on the DOD45 Show. I think you should really check out this episode, whether you've heard of them or not, because it's going to be an interesting one. Real quickly, on a past episode, we discussed the word surprise. I think it was probably with an episode with Lisa Wallen's episode where we were discussing the word surprise.
Surprise.
Right. And I've always said I'm kind of a stickler for correct spelling, and it's not surprise, it's surprise. But I noticed recently, in my Under an Hour book, and I proofread that book so many times, but on the Aesop Rock page, I misspelled surprise.
Oh, really?
It's spelled Suprise. Yes. Stupid. Not stupid, but I hate that. Anyway, So I'm aware of this thing in the Under an Hour book. Speaking of books, the ArtByTai books, there are still some available. Get your hands on one. Order them at ArtByTai.com. Also, on Taryn Manning's episode, we were telling shit stories based off of her web series, Shit Happens. I told a story about my friends holding me up on a crutch. You can hear that story when you go back and listen to the episode with Taryn Manning. But at the end of the episode, I told a story about my friends holding up a crutch for me, and I couldn't remember who the other friend was. The other friend was my friend Tony. But the reason I bring this up is because we recently, at a Christmas party, were hanging out with this friend Maurice, who held up the crutch for me to poop. Anyway, we were hanging out with him, and he told me the funniest shit story. So I'll tell real quick. I asked him if he watched the episode or saw the clip. He's not the type to watch YouTube, or I think he probably still has a flip phone. Who knows? Anyway, I asked him if he saw the clip. His wife showed it to him, and he said, "Yeah, I saw it." And then told me this story where they were out hunting, and he went down to go do his thing to deuce it up, and it was at night, so he couldn't see. He sat over a log and pooped, and all of a sudden he started feeling stuff climbing all over, going all up into his pants. Well, turns out he accidentally shit on a beehive, and the bees just started going nuts, and he could feel them stinging him. So he was trying to pull up his pants real quick, and while he was pulling up his pants, it was trapping the bees into his pants. He was getting stung on the balls and his ass all over. He said he had 30 or 40 bee stings. So, I don't know. That's a funny shit story. And my friend Maurice, if you knew him, if you knew the way he talks and just how excitable he is when he talks, it's a real funny story to hear from him. But anyway, that's a funny thing. Also, Adrian and I just recently went to the How the Grouch Stole Christmas tour with the Living Legends, Brother Ali, and Reverie, and it was a really fantastic show. It was at the Depot in Salt Lake City, and I just was going to say, well, thank you to them. We got to go backstage and meet some of the fellows in Living Legends. Hopefully, we'll get some of them on an episode coming up. But I was standing there thinking while we were at that show, we opted for the balcony seats because I prefer to see a show that way now, from up top, away from the madness. But I was standing there thinking, none of this matters. Shoot. I was just standing there watching the show, and I was thinking it was cool that we got to go down to the green room and say what's up to Grouch and meet some of the guys from Living Legends. But I was standing there thinking, I probably brought this up on many episodes, but I don't prefer to be known as a podcaster because I also don't even like to be called an artist.
Too bad.
I know. Well, it's fine, but just I don't like being called an artist, a podcaster, but I am an artist and a podcaster, I guess. But I just love music, especially indie hip hop. So we started this podcast to meet these artists and creators and performers and stuff who have their inspiring talents and their grind worth ethics, because that's what I have. So I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking it and looking down on podcasters. That's not fair. I'm
gonna tell what's his name from Off Menu.
James A. Caster. I don't hate podcasters. That's not. I'm a creator. I guess podcasters create. Yeah, never mind. This thing is dumb. I am a creator, and I want to, when I'm talking and hanging out or meeting with these other people, maybe it's my own insecurities of being never mind. Fuck it. Never mind. All right. We also went to DJ Ability's show. He is a really good at what he does. And he put on a really cool show. He added this new video element. Video and DJing is not new, but what he did with it was new. It was really impressive. So we got to talk with him after his show, and I was able to tell him that. We're going to have him on again to discuss that and some of his upcoming house stuff. But I wanted to see if you noticed this. You were really dancing a lot, so I don't know if you noticed, but he was holding up, he was had his record above the turntables, and he was scratching like it was a theremin. Like he was holding the record.
Do you see those bubbles?
Yeah.
Come on, everybody.
He was holding his record above the tables, and he was like shuffling it, shaking
He
it.
was just doing that for fun.
I don't think so. He was maybe not, baby.
Perform it.
I don't know.
Performance art.
I feel like it was operating like a theremin, and so he was like holding the record above the
Maybe
table,
he
kind of
drinks the gold juice.
scratching it, scratching. I don't know. It was cool. If that's the case, fucking awesome. If that's not, if he was just performing and that wasn't really happening, someone should invent that. But I'm pretty sure he was doing it. I'm pretty sure that's what he was doing.
Maybe he's a wizard.
Well, he kind of is on the turntables. All right, so I was gonna tell this story, but I'll save this story for another time since we're kind of in a crunch for time. But it has to do with stealing and back when I was in the 5th grade. But I'll save that for another time. Are you sure? Because I wanted to get into the intro about the kiddos.
That's fine.
Okay. Well, okay, I'll tell this story.
Not the first thing I stole. I feel really bad. Maybe I didn't steal it. Maybe it's just a pretend memory.
What?
It was this kid. I had summer school in high school. I think I didn't pass math or English or something. So I had to do summer school. And I can't really remember how it went, but there was this kid and he was rollerblading. Well, he was skateboarding. And then he stopped skateboarding and put on his rollerblades. And it was in this rich neighborhood. There's a rich school. It wasn't the school that I went to. I was a bit of a dick. And I just felt like he was a douche and didn't deserve that skateboard.
Oh, shit.
He got his rollerblades. I can't remember if he was taking them on or putting them on or taking them off or something. I think I snagged that skateboard.
You stole his skateboard? Adrian.
Threw it in the back of. I don't know if. I don't understand.
I'm not
if
judging.
I was driving or if he was. Or if. I mean, my brother was driving. But I don't know. It was pretty funny.
Well, there you go.
Really
Adrian's a
mean.
skateboard thief.
That was my first skateboard. But I never could figure out how to ride very well.
Well,
I'm sorry, kid.
I'm sure he's fine, unless he's
He
not.
loved his rollerblades anyway.
Yeah. Well, listen. If
There
you-
was a time when
he doesn't deserve the damn skateboard anyway if he's freaking rollerblading.
No, there was a time.
Sorry,
when that,
Kaz one.
There was a time when that thought was appropriate or acceptable, but I don't think that. Thought
Okay.
No, it's fine.
Well, I also should send out an apology to Kaz one. You know what's weird? Lots of people say Kaz one. I've always said Cass one.
I don't know what it is.
Well, I've always comfortable with Cass one, but I kind of like the way Kaz one
But it
sounds.
was Casper.
Casper, right? But some people say Casper. Well,
What did you steal?
well, not. Oh, yeah. So apologies out to Cass one from the Christmas
And
episode last
apologies out to
week.
that kid at Alta High School.
Yeah. Well, okay. So I had a moment with my friends in 5th grade. I had this tight little group of friends. Well, a couple of them were kind of like these Mormon kids that we ruined because me and my other really close friend Eric, we were straight thuggery, and so this is about 5th grade. Well, we broke into a Skoal van, Skoal, a tobacco van that had, and it was loaded with tobacco. So in 5th grade, we were chewing tobacco like idiots. Anyway, so we broke into this van and stole all this chewing tobacco. Maybe we were in 7th grade. No, I swear maybe we were in 7th grade.
I really shouldn't have told that story on this with our kids on here.
No, that's why it's funny. So they know that you regret it all the way 40 years later. You're still regretting it. Anyway, yeah. So we broke into this van, and then we were out walking late at night after we did that and chewing, and I think probably the tobacco was getting to my head or something, but I don't know. I was trying to make this point. I was like kind of sick of stealing at that time. I've told stories on the podcast before where I stole a magazine and then went back to the store and stole or like put it back secretively. I've just never been good at stealing. I feel guilty. I'm not good at lying. But anyway, so I was feeling really bad about these big long tube rolls of tobacco that we stole out of this van. You want to kill that? So anyway, I was feeling bad, and I knew my friends didn't. There was about 5 of us, and we were walking late at night. It was probably about midnight. We were walking across this bridge, and I was trying to tell them, like, I'm sick of stealing. I'm sick of being this way. And I started, like, crying, and I was trying to prove. I was saying, I'm not going to steal anymore. And I don't think I was getting to them. So I made this claim that I stole my shoes. So I took my shoes off and threw them over this bridge to prove to them that's how serious I was about quitting stealing.
The freeway bridge.
The freeway bridge, yeah.
Probably broke someone's windshield.
No, it was midnight. I don't know. I'm an emotional person, and even at like that 5th grade, I was doing that. I don't know. I don't know why that thought even came up.
Attention.
I mean, I enjoy attention too, and this friend, yeah, Eric, he got all the attention. All right, okay, well, listen.
Well, who gets the attention now?
Not me. I don't know. It doesn't matter. I don't care anymore. All right, okay, thanks. I don't know where any of those stories, I don't know how they connect at all, but it doesn't matter. My movie share is a movie called The Holdovers. We watched it last night. It's a holiday movie, and it's really, really good. It stars the guy that plays Pig Vomit in Howard Stern's Private Parts.
It's not Rudy Giuliani, but it's kind of sounds like that.
Yeah, I know his name. I've loved him in everything he's been in. He's a really good actor. Shoot, I can't believe it slipped my head. Dang it, that sucks. It's like oh my gosh.
It's like Rudy.
I was writing out like who the cast and the director and stuff, but then I got kind of caught up in some other things this morning. His name is Paul Giamatti. Paul Giamatti. It's a really good movie, and they shot it in film, and because it takes place in the 70s. And I was just, while we were watching, I was thinking it's been a long time since like I watched a movie that was shot in like old school 16 millimeter film. No, it was probably shot in 35 millimeter film.
It felt nostalgic.
It
just
did.
Watching it, like it felt like, oh, we're back in time. Like you can relax a little.
Yeah, it was.
The pacing was slower. Like it wasn't that one that we watched with the Shrek donkey guy.
Yeah.
Eddie Murphy.
Yeah.
That Christmas movie was like.
Yeah, it was like soup. It was like overly produced.
Yeah, and then this one was just like. Felt like a movie of yesteryears. Yeah,
and unfortunately, it probably won't become one of those holiday movies, that people have to watch every year. But it might go down in one as one of mine. It's really, really good. It's shot fantastically, and it's not like overly 70s movie. Like they don't try to say like, oh, this because this is movies from 2023. They didn't produce it to make it. And like go over the top with, oh, this is from 1970s. Oh, look at all this 1970s stuff. Like oversell that. It was just a movie that takes place kind of in the 70s. It's really, really, really good. I really liked it. So if you're looking for a holiday movie, because the holidays are still going, I mean, we haven't even hit New Year yet, give that one a check. It's a nice, chill movie. We watched it with our guests today.
Although I did have anxiety.
Well,
you guys all had anxiety too. That something bad was going to happen.
Yeah, because we've been conditioned to think something bad's going to happen in movies. Not to say nothing bad happens in this movie, but it's a really good one. So check it out. And then my song share for today is a song called "The Beach" from Dr. Dog off their 2008 album "Fate," and it's so good. It's such a great song.
There's a hole in the roof, and the rain coming down. The roads are flooded. There's no way back to town. In this shit we came in on has just...
Enjoy that. Put that in your playlists. I'm also going to be putting together a DOD45 Spotify playlist, all the songs that we do as song share, so you can go back and listen to the song share songs, because the idea of this is to share music we love. Sharing music is the language of love. So check that one out. And then a quote. I know I'll say it every time. It's not Adrian's favorite part, but this quote's really good. And Adrian, you should know who this is. Ready? This quote goes, "Earth made God, and God made everyone else." Or, I don't know, "Watch is watch." Do you know who said that? Of course.
Soul was the watcher.
Yep. So one of the guest today, Soul.
Here's a quote.
That's his quote.
Nalei from when she was about 4 or 5.
Okay.
Well, from Revel days. When was
Red River Revel Days in Shreveport, Louisiana.
When was that?
10 years ago. Longer than 10 years ago.
She was sitting on the curb, playing her little guitar, and she goes, "The world is my TV." Just watching all the people go by. And I was like, I love that so much.
That's a great 10-year-old quote. Oh, she wasn't 10.
She
Sorry.
was like 4 or 5.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Well, she had the guitar, so she was 5.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Okay, what's your song?
I believe this person or band is called Check the Blog.
Okay.
And the song is Shameless.
I'm trying to live in harmony with everything surrounding me, so all the comedy you talking doesn't bother me. It used to be a hobby, now it's an economy, but you're still a crab in a barrel of commodities, and I'm the rock lobster, balls of confidence. You'll probably find me at the bar drinking compliments, Billy Crystal Marvelous, until it's obvious your mama gets it on the bottom side of the metropolis.
And I'm surprised to see that it's 11 years old, but I don't know. I'm looking. I can't figure out this Spotify. I can't figure out what this artist is or if it's an artist. They want me to check a blog.
Oh, you can't tell if their band's name is Check My Blog or if they're saying it's Check My Blog.
No, I'm pretty sure the artist is called Check the Blog, but I can't find anything about him.
That's okay. We'll allow you, if you like this song, go check them out and report back to us what it is.
I'm still figuring out this whole SoundCloud thing.
Well, that's a good song, Cher. Okay, here we go into the guest intro, and then let's get our guests in here so they can get to work. Our guest today is Slugghead. It consists of Nalei and Soul, and I just be outright open about it. It is Nalei and Soul are our kids, and which is quite interesting. But we're not having them on the show because they're our kids. They have an album release coming up, and I thought that would be pretty interesting to have a discussion with them. So, real quickly, so in 2021, Nalei released an album called 13. She released the album on her 13th birthday, and it features 13 songs. When she was 12 years old, she recorded the album in her bedroom, right?
Yeah, just kind of around.
Yeah, just kind of around the house, our house in Hannibal, Missouri. And she'd never let us hear it. The concept of the album was, while she was 12 years old, she'd record an album throughout that year and release it on her 13th birthday. She was really protective about the music, and so we were never allowed to hear or give our thoughts on it or what she was creating and stuff. So when it came out on her 13th birthday, it was released on Spotify. I was blown away. I just, because I didn't hear any of it. It was like, I knew how talented she was, but I just didn't. It was just such a surprise. It just really blew me away. So I shared it with everyone. And a good friend of ours from the East Coast, he's also a musician. He asked if he could share the album with his sister, who is very high up with Live Nation. She works with Live Nation. And she heard it, and she was also blown away by it. And she offered to work with Nalei. I don't know in what capacity, but she offered her services with her connections through Live Nation. But Nalei didn't want to do it. We asked Nalei, some parents probably would have been like, "You're doing this," but we were just like, how do you feel about this? And I think Nalei didn't want to taint her music with whatever comes with that.
It was a good decision. It's too much.
Yeah. She was too young, and I really admired that as someone who would have killed for an opportunity like that when I was 13. But as her father, I was real proud of her confidence in herself and her determination to remain authentic and not ruin her music with, once you blow up, all of a sudden there's all these other voices that come in and kind of ruin what you're making. So that's a really inspiring story. There's an opening track on that album is called Numbness.
Feel bad, feeling bad because of what I've had. Don't feel sad, I've got a dad. There are people around the world who have it worse than me. So why am I causing such a scene? Couldn't go to school cause they got no money.
And it's so good. And then her vocals on the track I'm Not 13 Anymore. they're really, really, really amazing. And it's crazy to think she was 12 years old when she recorded that. I love the album. It comes on my playlist a lot, but I have to immediately skip over it if a song comes on when we're all in the car together, because I don't think she likes to hear it. She also released a single in 2022 called Offbeat. This is how clueless I am. I didn't even know. I listened to those today. There's 2 songs on that single, the song Offbeat and a song called Am I Enough? And then her 2022 EP Say It was called Say It Out Loud. It has a song on it that I really enjoyed called Ace of Spades.
Roses and thorns, feel like a chocolate cake, a mixture of blood, sweat, and tears. Good and easy, babe. I'm playing the queen of hearts, but am I the ace of spades?
She's very expressive in her writing. She's a really good writer and really passionate about her music, so that's exciting. I also love in the fans also like section of Spotify, down at the bottom, there's fans also like. So if you're on Nalei's Spotify, she's a verified artist, by the way, on Spotify. But in the fans also like section there, the first 2 groups that come up are Bucket Tooth, and that's my old band from when I was a kid, and Turtle Airplane. And that's her brother's band, her brother Soul, who's also in their band, Slugghead. That's a band that he has with a childhood friend who is the nephew of one of my childhood best friends and a member of my other family, not by blood, but by love. In fact, I love that family so much, I have their phone number tattooed on my forearm. Anyway, so Soul is in this band with a kid named Tony, their childhood friends, and it's called Turtle Airplane. So yeah, Turtle Airplane is Soul's band. Their self-titled debut album came out in 2022.
My mama was a turtle, my daddy was an airplane. My mama was a turtle, my daddy was an airplane. Turtle, airplane, turtle, airplane, turtle.
Where'd they record that album?
Here,
At our house. It's called Turtle Airplane. The band's called Turtle Airplane. Their single Person and a Ghost, released in 2022, was one of my song shares from a past DOD45 episode. It's such a great song. Shoot, I'm speeding right through these because, we should probably get on.
Are you going to go over the souls?
Just
The souls?
no.
It's the souls.
The drunken sailor, the drunken sailor, the drunken what we do, the drunken sailor, the drunken sailor, the drunken sailor, the drunken what we do, the drunken sailor, the drunken sailor.
But it's the souls.
SOLES.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Here's a real quick interesting story.
So there's quite a few. There's a couple songs on there that I really like too. There's a cowboy one that I really like.
Boy, put that gun down.
Well, the lonely rider got on his horse and he rode it down to his old man's porch. He shot the guy dead in his...
It's called The Soul. Does he say The Souls? The SOLES?
Yeah.
And this real quick funny, maybe a year ago when he said, my band's The Souls, it was just really crazy because he didn't know. When I was young in high school, I had a hip hop rap group, kind of a gangster rap group called The Soles.
I try to write the lyrics to possess the crowd. Don't rap it for the money, but I rap it for the life. Ask where the sullies and the homie is white. Fool, it don't matter what color you are, just as long as you're down with the 5 white stars. Cold rapping about the island Samoa. When the bass line hits, it's getting lower and lower.
Which is like in Samoan, it's like kind of like the bros, the boys, but it's spelled the same way, the SOLES. That was kind of a funny,
weird.
yeah, it was weird. I'm like, oh shit, you didn't even know that, and there you are now.
But I think the one, well, and I feel really bad because I'm not sure which one, but I think the Ballad of C.B. West D and his Kill Bill song.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm living the life. Are we living the life?
Oh yeah,
Gosh, but that looks like there's some new ones on here.
yeah. So that's Kill Bill's track. What is that track called? Oh, you don't know what it's called. Here-
Trying to throw my life away.
Oh, it's so good. Well,
Our kids aren't deep.
they're not. No, yeah. I'll share that song here while we're playing. I'll share links to their music. Here's the thing: it's not like we don't care. It's just the way I phrased that sounded weird. Our kids are very specific about their music, and when they were growing up, I never wanted to like push them into art because sometimes when parents do that, it turns kids off. They don't want to do what their parents do, you know? So I was very hands off with their artwork and their music. And if they ever came to me and wanted to know something, I would definitely share with them anything they were asking about.
Hey, we got a lot of
Okay.
men.
All right. Well, yeah. Okay. So anyway, listen. So the Slugghead, they're on our show tonight because tomorrow night they're playing their album release show. That's on December 29th. Their album comes out for everyone to listen. Comes out on Spotify and all that on December 29th. But they're performing their first live show, their album release show on December 28th at Mark of the Beastro in downtown Salt Lake City. I don't know what the venue's capacity is, but I really feel like it's going to be like a full show. It's free. They prefer you to dress up if you're into it, you know, and something fun. I'm going to try to go as an astronaut. It's going to be fun. So this album, they're labeling it as an avant-garde album, and I think that's a pretty apropos genre because it's got pieces of, there's some soul in there's some pop, there's some folk, there's a lot of different things, but it's kind of like something you never heard before. So avant-garde is a good way to describe it. It's kind of out there. But it's really good, and
It's artistic.
It's artistic. It's so different that nobody operates on their level. I'm serious. I mean, they're young. I just mean,
Like a dad.
yeah, of course, but it is very different. I listen, you know, it's just.
Well, it's just nice that they can create art uninebriated. Is that the right word?
Uninhibited.
Uninhibited.
Yeah.
What is inebriated?
Drunk. Yeah. They also can do that.
No, they can't. Not yet.
No, they make it not inebriated.
Uninhibited. Like this. It's just that is one thing. As a parent, I've tried not to. What you were alluding to at some point. Tried not to be critical of anything that they created. What's that?
Yeah. So that they could, yeah.
So that they could be free, because I know that for myself, I'm constantly worried like what people think, and I don't want that for them.
Yeah. Yeah, because that's tough. It's a tough way to lead your life. I mean, everyone in the world does it.
Overcome it in the arts, especially. I think you're far more free. You can be far more free in the arts if you aren't worried about it.
Yeah, it's like something I kind of forget when I often asked by young artists for advice and stuff. I do get I am affected by what people think of my work and think of me, and I sometimes will create artwork that I think, oh, this might be good, but the healthiest artwork or the best artwork that I ever create, when I feel healthiest as an artist, is when it's all from just myself and things that I think and things that I believe. And I think we're lucky, and that Nalei and Soul are lucky that they have a step up at their young age. They kind of already are aware of that. Any teenager is going to be affected by things that people think of you, and you're still carving out your path in life. But they're pretty good about like saying like, this is me,
and they're good about keeping their art their own.
Yeah, they know they're good for them. It's really cool to me that we're having our kids as guests on our show. I'm super proud of them. We've got so many videos and pictures of them since they were babies, playing guitars. Nalei often singing into a mirror with her guitar. Them experiencing music live in Clarksdale, Mississippi, home of the Delta Blues. One of our first shows as a family, they were, 6 or 7 or 3 or 4 or 5 years old. We took them to this place, the Ground Zero. It's a bar that Morgan Freeman owns in Clarksdale, Mississippi. And there was this blues show all night long. A guy named Josh Razorblade. He's a legendary blues musician. Razorblade Stewart, legendary blues musician. Oh my gosh, they've been to New Orleans. We used to go to New Orleans like 2 times a year and hang out in the French Quarter. They would watch buskers perform. They've nearly been to every state on the map. At festivals, they'd see live shows ever since they're growing up. So it's no surprise that they're way into music. So enough ramblings from me, but not nearly enough in regards to what they're up to. Here we go. Let's let them in and have a chat with the kiddos. Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching the DOD45 Show. That's Drawing Over Discussions, 45 minutes with a special guest. And our special guest today is the wonderful, the delightful, the adorable, the multifaceted children of ArtByTai and Adrian Taeoalii, the band Slugghead, brother and sister duo Nalei and Soul Taeoalii. They're here to talk about their upcoming album release show. So check it out.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? Stop what you're doing and listen.
DOD45.
This is the DOD45 Show, Drawing Over Discussions, 45 minutes with a special guest. Welcome. I'm your host and resident artist, Tai of ArtByTai, and with my co-host, Adrian Taeoalii, we're having conversations with people who I admire and am inspired by. On this episode, I'll set a 45-minute timer, put my pen to the paper, and we'll learn about our guest through an interview-style discussion. So stay right here with us to experience some laughs and maybe even learn a thing or two.
DOD45.
Hello, you guys. Welcome, Slugghead, Nalei and Soul. Welcome to our show, the DOD45 Show. It's a pleasure having you guys on. You guys are adorable. I'm going to just start the timer since I know one of you needs to get to work and you can't be late. As your father, I should not send you into work late. So here we go. Let's start the timer. And first question I'm going to ask you guys. The DOD45 show started as a celebration, as inspiring people. Is there a specific person or situation that inspired you to go into making music?
Probably, like you said, the DOD45 show inspired me to make music.
Are you serious?
I know mine, so can think. When we went to Ground Zero, the bar in, where was it? Tennessee?
Clarksdale, Mississippi.
There's a little girl who had a guitar, and she was super cool. She was like 2 years older than me, so she was probably 7.
Nice.
And she had a guitar, and then we went and bought a guitar after that.
Do you remember? We still have that guitar. You still have that guitar, right?
Soul uses it mostly. That's not the right guitar.
Oh, that. Yeah. What? How old were you at that time?
Probably 6 or 6. So she
that was such a cool show. Do you have any memory of that show, Soul?
Yes, I remember Then I remember using the bathroom, and there was stuff all over the bathroom.
Yeah,
Drawing.
we got to write on the wall.
I got to write on the wall.
Oh, that's right.
Twice.
No, I went on the stage.
I went on stage and danced.
And I didn't.
So
I didn't
dance.
Yeah, so
The
you.
reason that all happened is that you were up on the stage dancing. Dad was out in the parking lot on a phone call trying to get our printer back home to work. And so you were hanging with me and Razorblade Stewart, this very old blues musician, then lectured me about your rhythm and Nalei and the fact that you were not on an instrument yet. And he lectured me so hard that the next day I was like, okay, we need to go out and buy you guys instruments.
Yeah, but I just saw a little girl who's cool. She was probably the coolest girl there ever was.
And so you decided to get the guitar because she had the guitar.
I got her exact guitar.
And so we got you a little tom drum.
Yeah.
And then after that, I made you guys practice every day.
Yeah, and she made us do guitar, piano, and drum.
Yeah.
Every day.
which says now now that you guys are going to be playing your album release show. Did I mention that in the intro? I don't know. The intro was getting so crazy. So we're at the. I don't know if I did, but yeah, the kids have not the kids. Sorry, Slugghead has an album release show on December 29th. So that's tomorrow night. There.
28th.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, the show is on 28th. The album release show. Sorry, what?
This episode comes out today. This episode comes out today. The live show is the 28th tomorrow, and album comes out the day after that, so the 29th.
Yeah, so their album release show is at Mark of the Beastro in downtown Salt Lake City. Really looking forward to that. Real quickly, what did you have for breakfast this morning?
I had bread.
Toast.
Bread and toast.
No, I had bread, but it was toasted with butter on it.
That's
Okay, you had butter. So we're not in what's the times that our grandparents grew up in?
The olden days?
No, well, yeah, but when people didn't have food. What's that called? The Great Depression.
Why you say what?
Because as I said, what'd you have for breakfast? And they said bread. Hey, here's a question. Where'd the band name Slugghead come from?
You don't want to know.
The band name came from me, as you may find out from the second to last song on the album. The song came from our favorite TV show, Riverdale. Because this bully, he was on the phone with Jughead, the guy with the hat, and he called him a slughead. Yeah. And I said, that's a cool band name. Yeah. That's why we had used it.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was not aware of that.
What?
I wasn't aware of that. You guys watched that show, Riverdale, and while I see you guys watching, all you guys do the whole time you're watching is complain about how stupid it is.
Yes. See, let's talk about Riverdale first.
Yeah, let's talk about Riverdale.
They don't know about Riverdale. They don't care about Slughead. They want to know Riverdale.
We want to know about Riverdale.
Riverdale came out when I was in 7th grade and he was in 5th grade. And it was the hottest thing.
Hottest show. We
town.
watched it with our grandma.
Yeah,
First couple
We
episodes.
watched Riverdale with our grandma.
And nothing says hottest trendy show than a show you could watch with your grandma.
Well, my grandma's trendy, so.
It's trendy.
But it was also super awkward because Riverdale is insane.
It's insane.
And I had all the Riverdale merch, but then eventually I realized that was embarrassing, and so I got rid of it. But then I realized actually Riverdale is not embarrassing. It's not a bad show. Riverdale is camp. It's absurd, and people need to recognize that that's what it is. It's not supposed to be good. Well, it is supposed to be good, but it's not good.
Well, I can't stand it. It drives me bonkers, but that's okay. It's not for me. Here's a question. Here's a Sophie's Choice question for you. Brett or Jermaine?
Brett.
Brett. No. Which one's Brett?
The one with the curly hair. And the helmet.
Brett.
And Jermaine is a lot more like me. I think I am Jermaine.
Oh, that's what I should. Yeah, if you guys were the Flight of the Conchords, so Brett, yeah, Soul is Brett, and Nalei, you're Jermaine for sure.
Yeah, but I always like the characters that are the least like me.
I heard you guys' rehearsal last night, and you played a song called Vampire, or I don't know if that's what it's called. I was incredibly amused. What's that song come from?
It comes from you.
I want to know.
No, we thought we needed an encore, so this was gonna be our encore song.
Yeah, so
but then we gave up on that.
Yeah.
And we came up with a different encore song.
What is that? What is the song called though? The vampire song.
It's called Fly Vampire.
Oh, okay.
Hey, let's tell a story about my dad.
Oh, yes.
No.
Okay, this is something that everyone needs to know. And this is a story for the girlies.
Yeah,
okay?
yeah. My dad wrote Twilight.
What?
Dad, he's always hating on Twilight, saying, "Oh,
Yeah,
Twilight's stupid. It's bad." And
They can't act in this movie.
yeah, it's a weird plot. And then Dad proceeded to tell us about his awesome vampire movie that he made, or wrote at least. And you want to know the plot of that movie?
No.
So there are vampires, and then, like in Twilight, a little bit concerning, but like in Twilight, there are also Native Americans who can turn into werewolves, and they have beef, aka the plot of Twilight.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm pretty sure someone says vampire in there. So.
Yeah.
Well, briefly, the plot of this movie that me and my friend Jake came up with were that if vampires have lived our entire lives, then there definitely would have been like Native American vampires. And then we came up with the idea that the word vampire came from a native tribe, vampire. I don't know. All right. Hey.
This was in your younger days.
Yeah, much younger. Who would you love to meet in the music industry?
Probably Kathleen Hanna. Because she's basically the heart and
yeah.
center of it all, I think.
She practically made Beethoven.
Or Joan Jett. They're both practically the heart and center of it all.
Well,
No,
if you had an opportunity to meet either one of them, what would you say?
I would say you guys are the coolest, most inspiring people ever, and I love your music, and you're literally awesome. Can I get an autograph?
All right. Well, that's simple.
What about you, Soul?
I don't know.
Do you feel like are one of you more shy than the other?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can we guess who's the shy one?
This one has not said a word.
The chatty Cathy. He talks all the time.
They call me Chatty Cathy
Dude, they call him chatty Cathy.
in these streets.
Yeah, in our streets. Soul is the shyest, but he's also the funniest.
That's so funny.
He spends all his time being quiet so he can jump out with some witty joke.
Yeah, the quiet
Make
ones when they do
laugh.
speak. Yeah, that's a good move, dude. Stick with that.
The best was the other night when you were learning to drive, Soul. And that guy had the brights on. And you just start laughing. These headlights are so bright we could hardly see the lines. And you're just laughing. You said, "I think I just saw God."
So bright.
That's funny.
Let me tell you a message to the
make
people.
the entire room go quiet just to hear his joke, and then everyone just starts laughing.
I'm just so incredible.
Yeah. Even if it's my joke that he says louder,
I've never repeated your joke in the last 3 years.
it's a lie. That's mostly my joke.
Mostly what?
You steal my jokes.
I do, because they're funny. You guys are funny.
You do it to me.
I do it to mom too. It's not because I'm trying to steal and get credit for it. I just sometimes feel like people didn't hear what you said, and I want it to be heard.
But Soul's and the quietest.
Sometimes when we talk over each other, you guys cut out. Sorry. What? Oh, what is our generation, Mom and I, and above? That's also a song. What is our generation most not understanding?
Reference to the song.
No, well, yeah, you guys have a song called. Okay, wait a minute. We can't do inside stuff because no one will know what the hell's going on. What is our generation
album
most not understanding about your generation?
I think that your generation, like every generation before our generation, is not understanding, but they're just blind to see that there's not really that much of a difference. Like there was, this generation is so offended, and then your generation like freaked out over anything.
Yeah. So your thinking is that it's just continuation. It just continues on where the older generation just doesn't understand the generation.
Teenagers are always the same, no matter what generation they're in. But but then once you grow up, you think, oh, teenagers weren't like this in my day, but they were, except it's just slightly different, or it's about a different thing. Like we were talking about this. Soul and my friend were saying that Euphoria has made teenagers nowadays.
Okay, no, that was my whole.
On drugs? What?
Yeah, wait, we didn't hear the thought.
I was having a gap.
No, it was saying that Euphoria has made this generation like too crazy and like into drugs, but that's not true. That's just, that is how it was in the 80s and the 70s and the 60s and the 90s and the 2000s. Everything is the same, except it looks different.
Yeah.
And
that's the
older generation, the difference is the older generation just is in denial about that they were just like that.
Yeah. Well, you forget too as you get older. That's very Matthew McConaughey-ish kind of knowledge there, Nalei.
Hey, I love Matthew McConaughey.
Oh, well, I'm sure you love this line from a movie. He says, "That's what I love about these high school girls. I get older, they stay the same age."
Yeah.
About so inappropriate. Hey, Nalei, you love Christmas. You love Christmas, right?
Who told you?
No, but you do, don't you?
I think Christmas is good.
Okay.
Good.
So both of you, here's a question: Christmas Noel or Noel Fielding?
What? On my Christmas.
Yeah, Soul's Christmas card. I saw it. It's under the tree.
Yeah.
His Christmas, his like little tag
I have
says
a
Noel.
sticker.
Yeah,
it says Noel.
And he wrote Fielding underneath it. So it says from Soul and Noel Fielding.
So your answer to the Sophie's Choice question is Noel Fielding.
Well, that's a tough question because
who's Noel?
Christmas. That's a tough question because Noel Fielding, he's funny, he's stylish, and he's what I based this year's haircut off of. But he also did blackface and questionable behavior in his 30s. So I still love him, but if it's him versus Christmas.
Oh,
the thing about Christmas, though, is we're also Dutch.
Christmas has a little bit of blackface going on, too.
And it has questionable behavior.
So it's the battle of the blackface.
Jeez.
And questionable behavior.
Yeah.
Questionable.
Because isn't it the story is like the dude in the Dutch story? He went down the chimney and then all of a sudden now his face is all black from all the ash.
Yeah, he's not black. It's just the charcoal from the chimney.
Wait, is that what they say?
I don't.
Red lips.
Oh yeah, that's what our cousin
thought
says.
he was a slave.
Yeah.
Well, let's not dive into that because we don't know enough about it.
Okay.
Even though you are
I don't know.
Dutch,
I have no idea.
there's a character named Swanza Pete.
Oh shoot, Nalei, you were talking. Sorry.
What?
Go ahead.
I was just saying we know enough to say that there's a bunch of Dutch people doing blackface. There's an episode about that though. That's a good episode.
Oh yeah, Nalei. By the way, you were for Halloween this year, you were Noel Fielding's character.
Old Greg.
Old Greg. Yeah, that was fun. Okay, hey.
Not a black face.
Not a black face. No.
A green face.
No, a green face. No, I wasn't saying that. I was just, I was going off of Noel Fielding.
He's a sea creature.
What's the album? What's your guys' album called?
Vamps in Space.
Vamps in Space.
Vamps, as in vampires, yeah?
Yeah.
What's the best song on this album?
That Witch. That Witch is definitely the best song.
That Witch, D&B type beat is also pretty good.
But let's tell you a little about, let's give you an inside scoop about That Witch. As my dad is drawing, as you can see, he's drawing Soul Eater, or Soul from Soul Eater, which is
the first character in all of TV show history that has had my name. It was crazy.
I don't know that that's true.
No, that I've ever seen.
But Soul Eater, I watched it and I was like, Soul's gonna like this. So I showed Soul, and I knew that's not relevant. What's relevant to the album is that That Witch was based on the outro song of Soul Eater. Just the way I sing.
Just because he screams.
No, because he has like this like gravelly
that's true.
voice that I was just copying, and then also he screams in that song. So I was just copying that song.
That's a good song.
That is a good song.
And that's called That Witch, which everyone will be able to hear on December 29th. The album comes out on Spotify and all the listening places on December 29th.
And one more thing, if you wonder why I sound so weird in that song, it's because I'm copying the outro song from Soul Eater.
Oh.
No. What?
We missed it.
Yeah, I didn't hear what you said.
Cut out.
I said no other reason.
Where was the album recorded, and what's the inspiration behind the album?
It was recorded underneath my bedroom.
Underneath my bedroom?
Underneath our bedroom. There's a room.
Oh, because your bedroom's on the top floor.
Yeah. We recorded it on a computer in 2 hours. 2-hour album challenge.
Okay. I'll tell the story.
Yeah, you tell the story.
So, my parents were gone and we were waiting for them. I don't know for what. They were gone at the bar though, which means they have no self-service. So we're basically all by ourselves, all alone. And
Stranded, abandoned.
Stranded and abandoned. And the only comfort
That's what the album should have been called, Stranded and Abandoned.
The only comfort from this neglect was music. So Soul got on my mom's computer that she's using now to record herself, and he started making some beats, and I forced him to give me a voice. So I got the microphone and I just said whatever I felt.
Mm-hmm.
And
so
it was
I also said what I felt.
Soul sometimes said what he felt.
Everyone
So it's all freestyle. Everything's the beats, the lyrics, the melody. It's all freestyle. The whole album, except for Fly Vampire.
Yeah.
And so when you do something like that and you put an album out like that, where it's pretty much an improvised album, and now here you are going to perform the album live, does that make that difficult? And are there like when you're going to perform something live, does that make you want to change some things because now it's no longer improvised? You're like, okay, well, we've had time to like consider this. Have you guys made adjustments to particular songs or things like that when you perform it live?
Yeah, we made a lot of songs a lot shorter.
Yeah,
most of them.
We had to cut out
5 minutes of just instrumental.
Yeah. We had to cut out some of the minutes where Soul's just doing a bass solo for
a 3-hour bass solo.
But also because there's so much distortion on my voice and like filters or whatever, we had to go back into each song and to remove all of the distortion so that we could hear what I was saying, so I could write down the lyrics and so I could remember them.
Oh, that's right. Because even your everything was improvised, so you didn't even really remember what your.
I no idea what I was singing about, so we had to go back and
We didn't
listen.
We didn't change the main sounds of the song, except for a few of them,
Yeah,
which now have melodic parts, which previously were just drums, only drum.
We got about 10 minutes.
Oh shit. Okay.
It's-
Huh?
10 minutes.
Don't you have to leave?
It's
oh,
only
you-
30.
Oh, you have to leave at 1:30.
Oh, you have us panicking over nothing?
You're trying to kick us off our podcast.
I wasn't.
Yeah, you were trying to steal our light to shine. You thought we were gonna overshine you.
Yeah, but we always back to crush the haters.
Yeah.
Speaking of,
We don't like the haters. The haters, they don't understand us.
Yeah.
Speaking of stealing, the reason we were so long in our intro is Mom told a story about stealing, and then I had to tell a story about stealing, and then she thought maybe I shouldn't tell that story on our kids' episode.
I'm so regretting it right now.
You guys, as you guys know, me and Soul love to steal.
Love stealing.
This whole album we stole.
What? What are you talking about?
It's a lie.
Mom, sometimes this is a funny dynamic. Sometimes the kids will say something. This is for the audience, but it's almost, well, shoot, I don't know. Never mind.
So true that crazy.
Yeah.
No, I was just gonna say sometimes you say something and we all get it, and Mom's sometimes like, what the hell are you guys talking about?
It's the story of my life. It's fine.
Well, that's because me and Soul are sarcastic, and so is Dad, and so is Mom. But sometimes Mom doesn't always understand that we're being sarcastic.
I'm not with the times.
The times.
I say a
Okay.
lot. I don't.
All right, I'm kicking the timer back on.
Kick it. And you
Can you kick it?
I don't know. Can I?
Oh yeah, that song would have been a hit if it would have just went that way. Can I kick it? Long pause. I don't know. If you can.
Mom, can we kick it after school today?
Yes, you can.
Okay. What? Oh, here's another Sophie's Choice question. Ready? You guys ready?
Mm-hmm.
The Mighty Booge or Doctor Who's?
Whoa. That was crazy.
Listen, I love the Mighty Boosh. I've seen it many times. I've shown it to everyone. I dressed up as him, as a Mighty Boosh character for Halloween. I based my haircut this year after Vince Noir, and my style. But honestly, I already dressed like that, so that wasn't that different. But you know what? Doctor Who, as far as I know, or at least from starting from the seasons in 2005, has never done blackface. And
that's important.
You better verify that, though.
Yeah, I didn't watch the seasons from the 70s, so I don't know for sure.
So that's possible.
It is possible.
But,
At least from 2005 and up.
2005 and to now,
Their plot lines are
there's no blackface. And
crazy good.
they're good plot lines. I guess I am a nerd. I always think that I'm not into sci-fi, but every sci-fi thing I watch, I love. So I guess I am. But their plots are so creative. I just watched an episode, and they went back in time to Venice. The episode's called Vampires in Venice, and they're all vampires, except they're not vampires because no one's really a mystical creature. They're all aliens, and they're not, and they're fish from space. and it's so good.
And they're all the episodes someone dies and it's always sad.
Yeah, they're always killing people. The Doctor is kind of heartless. The Doctor is also like, he, as much as you love him and as much as it's sad that he's lonely because he's like 901 years old and everyone he loves dies, he needs to be more careful with the women. He is like James Bond.
He is like James Bond.
Relentless.
Yeah, he seems like he's kind of a sexist.
Well, that is, he sometimes does, but he's actually pretty feminist, which is why I like Doctor Who more. It's pretty progressive Doctor Who, which I was surprised to see.
Yeah.
Well, you're aware now that when you're out, you're now in the public, you have said you're a Doctor Who fan. Every Doctor Who person is going to wax philosophy about Doctor Who to you because Doctor Who fandom is generations deep.
Yeah, I always join the most aggressive fandoms.
Well, you can you hold your own if you get into a Doctor Who fandom?
No, I've only seen 5 seasons of Doctor Who so far.
Oh, okay. So I guess I'm protecting you with that. Don't come at her with your Doctor Who. Just kidding. I don't.
Everyone would generally agree with me that Doctor Who is progressive, especially with the newest episodes. So.
Oh yeah, no, I just mean like sometimes people are like, "Oh, what?" They're like their entire lives are these. Shh. I guess that's fandom. All right.
We're fans. She's not really a fan. Me and you, Dad, we're fans.
Yeah, Soul doesn't do fandom, or do you?
Well, Soul's a fan. Mom is a fan sometimes too. Mom's a fan of Vikings. Soul's a fan of some like animations and music. But me and Dad, we're fans of everything. We don't just like things.
What? Fans of everything too.
I guess Soul's too. But we don't.
So
just,
you're a Spider-Man fan.
That's true. But we are.
And real quick for the world, not the world, but everyone that's listening, there is an offer on the table. Should I watch the new? Yeah, an offer on the table from Soul.
No, Soul's the offer.
Oh, no. Should I watch the new Spider-Man movie? Then Soul agrees to watch The Orator, which is one of my favorite movies.
I've been saying I'd watch The Orator forever. You're like, no one wants to watch it with me. I'm like, I'll watch it. And then you're like, but no, I would need to watch something else instead.
And we seriously just watched the new Spider-Man on his birthday.
Oh, did we? I think I fell asleep. All right, hey, what can people expect at the live show?
Expect the unexpected.
Don't expect anything serious. Just try and have fun and be silly. And hey, if you want to dance.
What do you guys attribute your music making abilities to?
Because I'm awesome.
All me.
Yeah, actually, it is all Soul.
What? No.
I just write.
What? Okay, let me rephrase this question. What do you guys attribute your humbleness to?
Probably
I don't know. Well. I'm probably one of the most humble people around.
Yeah. Me and Donald Trump, the most humble people out there.
But really, what do you guys? Where do you attribute your making of music? And is there anything that you can think? You've just always been a fan of music.
Well, you always played music, so maybe it's you.
We grew up
what you're trying to do? You're trying to get us to compliment you?
No. What I'm talking about is like, well, it doesn't matter.
You should be attributing it to me, who made you practice every day.
Yeah, that's true.
Is that true?
I'll tell you what. As a parent, there is especially our parenting style, there is a thing you don't want to. What we didn't want to do was force you to learn how to play music, because when you force kids to do things,
that's not true. Mom,
I forced you.
But the route of doing that, you would say, like, we didn't want it to be like some people with their kids playing sports. It's like constant, and then they end up hating what they're practicing.
Just like High School Musical.
Yeah, see, we didn't want that to happen. So I guess you guys hate music.
I hated playing guitar because Mom forced us to play it every day. But then I got pretty okay at it. But now I've given up. I don't need to know anything more. I prefer writing lyrics to songs and melodies than playing instruments, which is why I make Soul do all that.
All the music production.
Yeah.
Well, real quickly, just for the record, I just felt, after being lectured by Razorblade Stewart, I also and I made you do French too, because I just felt like it has like connections in your brain somewhere, the music and language and things that you hear, that it makes your brain bigger.
We
Not
spent,
bigger, but smarter.
I don't remember any of it.
I know C'est la vie. I know
Actually,
Bonjour.
that's not true. I got a French customer at work the other day, and I was able to say a little bit, but then his daughter roasted me and said, yeah, but that's what everyone knows in French, so.
Well, I think mom's...
All
oh,
I'm just saying is, I didn't care about you guys being musicians. I just wanted your brains to be fully developed.
Yeah, I know. It worked out well because now we can make music all by ourselves.
I mean, that's yet to be determined. Just kidding. What's the? Oh, hey, here's another Sophie's choice: watching a cartoon or listening to tunes in a car.
Slow picks one, I'll pick the other. So since I have a car, I'll pick listening to tunes in the car.
Oh, you can pick watching cartoons with me. I'll pick listening to tunes in your car.
Well, I have a car. You don't have a car.
Yeah, but...
Well, who's driving my car? Are you just sitting in my car listening to my CDs?
That's what I always do.
One thing that you guys do love is once we get in the car, you love to play your music in the car. It's like one of your most favorite things.
Yeah, we had, when we were kids, on the long 20-hour drives,
30 hours,
30, 40,
50 hours.
50 hours. Actually, it was because we didn't live in Missouri, so it was like 50-hour drives. Right? Or am I crazy?
Yeah, to Florida, yeah.
But if we were lucky enough and special enough and good enough boys, that Dad would play our playlist of our music and some of Dad's music that he wanted us to like.
What's the word on Turtle Airplane? Are more albums coming out from that group?
Probably. Who knows? We're trying.
They are trying. They were up here all day yesterday trying.
Compiling music.
For new stuff.
Oh, good. Yeah, we shared
millions of songs made.
We have 1,000,000 songs.
Hey, is there ever a concern about this? Is a thing that some of the older generation of music makers now they do that kind of like, for lack of a better term, boomer talk. But they're like, if you're just putting out all kinds of music, then or just constantly putting out music, there's no quality control. That's kind of what their complaint is. How do you feel about that?
I think they can find quality somewhere else. I think a lot of people, they get really hung up on making the best stuff, but then you don't make anything and everyone loses. And so I think, and also making stuff that's other people will like or doing what they're known for because that's what people expect for them, or doing what they are known for, or else people will get mad at them. And I think that that's a loser move. And I think that you should just make whatever you want. Some of the songs won't be as big as hits as the other ones, but you're not living for other people, you're living for yourself. So you might as well do what you want to do.
Yeah. Okay, buddy.
And that is true. I recognize, because a lot of people rely on music for their income. And so they have to pander in order to make money. I also recognize that. And so do what you got to do, but don't hate on other people for doing what they do either.
Is that a philosophy you've had your whole life? Like, did that play into your thinking? Remember, you got the offer from that friend of ours. His sister worked for Live Nation, and they were offering to kind of get involved in your music. Was that playing into your thought process of why you didn't want to take them up on that offer?
Well, I didn't want to take them up on the offer because music is a hobby, and I don't really like doing it all the time. I only like writing lyrics. I don't like making music. That's why Slugghead is fun, is because I don't really make music. Soul makes the music. And I just say whatever I want. So that's why this works out.
Whatever she wants.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I didn't want to have an expectation from me to produce any more music than that first album, because I didn't really have a plan to. I didn't have a plan not to either, but I didn't have any plans, so I didn't want to be forced into something that I would later regret.
Yeah. do either of you guys go back and listen to like any of your past music or music that's, you know, like will you go back and listen to any of your old albums?
Yes.
I was bumping his music all the time.
Yeah.
Mayo or mustard?
Wait, I didn't get to answer the
Oh,
question.
sorry. Go ahead.
I listen to my music when I get paranoid and forget what I wrote, and so I have to go back and check that I'm okay with it being out there.
Oh yeah.
Not how do I? Yeah. That makes sense. Like sometimes people released music, and now they've like a lot of the rappers that we have on the show. They released stuff back in the day that they're like, oh shit, I can't believe I was saying that.
Yeah,
Like
it's just like Twitter.
yeah.
I
So
just
are
get
you really doing that often? Do you often go back there and go like, oh, looking back on it?
like every 3 months I go back just to check if it was even good. The more time passes, the more I like it because I'm like, oh. But also I'm just double checking. I always worry that because I say a lot of stuff I don't believe and I talk often, that leads for a lot of people to misinterpret what I'm saying or misunderstand me. And so I'm always paranoid that someone has taken what I've said the wrong way. I don't want anyone to think think I believe something I don't.
Well, so having that realization as a person, do you now that you're kind of in the position to think that way, do you have a little bit more empathy for people if, you know, what stuff that they are now being called out for, but then they go like something like Noel Fielding doing blackface. If they now come out and go like, it's not what I meant. I mean, how am I trying to, I guess you get what I'm saying there though.
Yes. Well, in my early years of 12 and 13 years old, I watched a lot of controversial people and they've all been canceled now. And
for rightful reasons.
For rightful reasons. But during the huge cancellation of like a bunch of people, people don't actually get canceled. Not unless you're in jail. Unless you're in jail and you have to stop making content, you're never really
jail
canceled.
Was the original cancel.
But I was big. I had a huge justice complex or something. I don't know.
No, I was just like Batman.
I was like Batman. Anyone who did anything slightly wrong, even if it was 14 years ago when they were 12, I was like, you're a horrible person. You need to go away and you need to be shunned by society. But in recent years, I realized that's not true. Unless you've done something that does deserve jail, but probably won't get jail because you're rich and white, then it's okay. Especially if you've grown as a person. Like, I watch this YouTuber. Well, I watch a bunch of YouTubers, and a lot of them have said or done controversial things. Oh, this is a good example. Jenna Marbles is a good example of this. She had said a lot of questionable things in her past, but when I started watching her, and as she continued to grow as a YouTuber and understand things, and like what is like okay to say and what is not, well, she changed herself, so she did what, like she was different, and she obviously showed growth from her past. So she wasn't how she was. She didn't behave the same way she did in the past. Yeah.
The point is if you've grown as a person, then you get somewhat of a pass. If you double down on that shit you said back in the day, then you're still an asshole.
If you've shown growth, then that's okay. But unless you've like groomed children, then will forgive you.
There's no growth from that. Hey, are there any more solo projects from you in the works, Nalei?
Probably. I always think about it. I always make organize it. I have like 130 songs written in my notes app. And so I have a bunch written. It's just if I actually want to commit to recording them, I guess.
Yeah, well, that makes sense. What's the best movie soundtrack?
Okay, I actually have this.
Starting from
Okay.
Starting from step
You
1.
got throughout this.
Okay.
Okay, so you go ahead. I'm gonna tell everyone. Okay.
Scott Pilgrim has a great score and a great soundtrack. What else has?
I'll tell you. Cruel Intentions. Cruel Intentions is a questionable movie, and but that soundtrack is so good.
Oh.
They have Blur. Basically, every song I was listening to in February was the Cruel Intentions soundtrack. I'll tell you what else also is good. Charlie's Angels. Charlie's Angels has the best soundtrack.
Yeah.
It's so good.
And also, hate to say it, but Twilight has the perfect soundtrack.
Oh right, Twilight. Twilight is the OG best soundtrack.
All of our childhood music was in that show.
Yeah. Yeah,
Kill Bill had a good
Wait,
sound.
no, it was only one.
And Underworld.
No.
A good soundtrack. I don't know if it has a soundtrack, but it has a great score. Whoever scored Underworld is awesome.
That one, no, what's that one song? Was like
Eyes on Fire.
That song was in here, guys. Go check out the Twilight soundtrack. It was really good, and don't watch the movie.
No,
Don't watch the movie. Watch the movie with your friends. Watch the movie.
I like the Kill Bill soundtrack better.
It's pretty good. What else do we have in here?
No. Well, because we got 5 minutes, so we're not going to spend it on these soundtracks. Yeah. Well, 5 minutes until I go to the first, worst, and thirst. George Michael or Michael Bublé?
George Michael, obviously.
They both written Christmas songs.
Yeah, but guess whose is better?
No, actually, has Michael Bublé even written a Christmas song? Or is he just stolen?
I think he just is a Christmas song.
Hey, what do each of you bring to this union? This
one.
The Slugghead.
Oh.
Soul brings all of the music, and I bring the epic bars.
Do you call them bars?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
Do you guys ever argue when you're in creative mode, when you're creating music together? Do arguments break out?
I'm bossy, and I tell Soul what to do.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean there's an argument. Are you passive, Soul? Do you allow that to happen?
Are you just going to take that? Yeah, unless I am annoyed and I don't want to do it anymore.
There was only one time where Soul was really, at least that I recognize, Soul was really upset with me for being so bossy, was when I was making, in my first album, I don't remember what the song is called, but there's like this lo-fi beat, and I made Soul make it for me.
Yeah.
Soul was so mad at me because
I wasn't mad at you. I just did not want to make a song.
Yeah, I told him not to.
Well, I find that this.
So you would have been about 11, making that lo-fi beat, right? Well.
No,
yeah,
so
you were 11.
So I was about 14 or 15, so 12 or 13.
No, which album? Your first album?
Mm-hmm.
You were 12.
No,
the album's called 13.
I wrote the songs at 13. I didn't record them.
Oh. Well, yeah. So I think what happens sometimes between when there's a duo or where people making music together, where there's a lot of argument, is what each of them is the trust in what each other brings creatively. So if they're like, if you don't trust each other's ideas, then there's going to be a problem there. And I think people like John Lennon and Paul McCartney, they had a trust amongst each other. They believed in each other's ability, so they made music well together. Do you guys have?
Did they?
They did make great music together. Oh yes, they did appreciate each other's talents. But for you guys, you can trust. Like, so if Nalei comes to this table with an idea, you trust in it, or vice versa. Is that how you guys feel?
Well, we don't really have ideas. I don't.
Yeah, we just make it.
I think why it works is I leave Soul to his lane, and Soul leaves me to our lane, and we're usually on the same page. And when we're not, I'm actually not that bossy. Do you think I'm bossy?
You
No,
better
you're
not.
Oh,
Well, let me ask you this real quick then, and then we'll move on. Help. What happens?
no, just kick the chair.
What happens when you come to a disagreement? How do you what's the word I'm looking for there, Adrian? How do you come to a middle ground, or how do you?
We see whoever wants the worst. I think.
Yeah. But it's all happening too fast, so there's no time for ideas. There's just time for go.
If there's
That's how I live my life.
if there's
That's
something
how we seem to all live our life.
Well, and just as a reminder to the audience, the people who are still listening at this point, the timer just went off. I'm joking. Just as a reminder of how young you guys are, let me ask you this, Soul, how are your driving lessons going?
actually 32. He's only just learning how to drive.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been forced to get out of the basement from playing video games to actually get a license.
I'm really good at driving in GTA. I don't know.
And see, the joke is we don't even own GTA.
Yeah.
We don't own the gaming console for that.
Yeah.
Okay. Last the timer just went off. Last Sophie's choice, and then two other questions. David Bowie or David Letterman?
Who's David Letterman?
David Letterman.
Oh, we were watching David Letterman. No, that's not him.
Yeah, it is.
Is that him?
New show where he interviewed Lizzo and like Billie Eilish and everyone.
Oh, he's the one that was on the boat.
No.
That's Conan.
No, that's Conan O'Brien.
Oh, that's Conan O'Brien.
There's another.
Why can't I know what that is, but I don't know what he looks like.
He has a big white beard.
Old now. He's a little bit weird sometimes, but he's a good interviewer, I think. He was a little bit more weird in the olden days, but I think he's okay now.
But you're definitely picking David Bowie over David Letterman.
Yeah, definitely picking David Bowie. Even though David Bowie was
David Letterman's the guy with the beard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
David Bowie's, but he is dead now, so there's still not like he profits off of anything.
He can come back. I mean, Jermaine brought him back.
Did you know? A quick fact. Did you know? Actually, you didn't know this because I told you. But they, the Mighty Boosh and Flight of the Conchords were big fans of each other, and originally, Flight of the Conchords were planning to have Noel Fielding play David Bowie. They had asked him, and Noel Fielding was so excited, but then his agent told him that he was booked that day for the IT crowd.
Oh, that's right. Poor Noel. Hey, so you're.
Yeah.
Wait, what was that?
I think it was ended up perfect the way it was. So
Yeah. You're both so young. Do you see yourself working professionally in the music industry, or is it still just a passion hobby?
I don't.
Yeah, I don't know if I do.
You would say you want to score movies and stuff.
Well, yeah, that'd be fun, but I don't think that's.
But at this point, you're just making music because you're having fun making it.
Yeah, I don't think.
I don't want to work in the music industry as like a career. If it does like do something, that'd be fun, but it still just be a hobby.
Yeah, cool. Mullet or mohawk?
Mullet. No.
Now let's think about this.
No. There's the bad mullet and the bad mohawk. We got this normal 2000 spiky mohawk going on. Not good. I mean, it was kind of fun, but
you got the punk rock
spikes.
Oh yeah.
And then
dyed green.
And then you've got the weird mullet going on. That's just like, it's not very good. And then you got the cool mullet going on. It's like if a British person had a mullet. Then that's when it's cool.
Well, so yeah,
impressive these days.
But this is Sophie's choice. You only get to pick one.
Well, I pick mohawk and Soul can pick mullet. I think that I think that
you can pick mullet, mohawk, and I can pick mullet.
Yeah, Malohawk. What about a Malohawk?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a mohawk, but then a mullet in the back. So it's party, party. Party up front and party in the back. All right, let's get into the dish. Oh, do you guys anticipate your nerves getting to you once you're up on stage?
I've grown quite good at handling my nerves because I'm constantly terrified of everything. So I think, and especially since this, it's silly and I'm not taking it seriously. I'm not too worried about anything going wrong, because if it does, then we'll just joke about it.
Yeah. Also, it'd be our family there, so I think it would be kind of fun.
The only thing I'm worried about not being able to hook up to the.
Yeah, I'm worried about the crackling.
The sound.
That happens a lot.
Well, the sound guy knows what he's doing. Your computer freezing or something like that happening?
Yeah, but also I don't know. It's crackly every once in a while, but it's fine.
It'll be fun. All right. Well, let's get into your first, worst, and favorites. This is rapid fire section, and then we'll get you out of here because you guys need to rehearse for your show. What was the first concert you went to?
A Moth in the Flame.
Moth in the Flame. And it was really cool. It was really It was kind of foggy, kind of rainy.
He made a joke. We were out with our Aunt Jetta. Shout out to Jetta. You're the best. We love Jetta.
Jetta, shout out.
Hashtag we love Jetta.
Hashtag Team Jetta.
We were out with Jetta and we got face paints. So I'll send you the picture of her face paint. She got an ugly worm on her face. She was upset about that. But I got a beautiful butterfly. And when I met the lead singer from Flight of the... Oh, no. What was it called? Moth in the Flame. He said, you and Dad, you and him were joking. It should have been a moth with a flame.
Oh, that was a little small outdoor. That was like a backyard show. That was a cool show.
Driving there, and it was the most insane thing, and I still need to find what this is. There was a street with these stop signs, and they were red, but they turned around and they would be green when it was time to go. No. This is real. It was a whole street. I'd never seen anything like this.
Yeah,
and I still haven't. Dream. No, it's not a dream. I knew
it's a fever dream.
No.
Maybe. Let me offer you this, Soul. Maybe when you were looking at it from this angle, it was a stop sign, and as we passed it, you turned back and looked, and it was a go sign.
No, because I remember the stop sign. There was a green stop sign, and I'd never seen a green stop sign before.
Oh my God, you've got quite an imagination.
Show, it was me and Mom, and you and Nalei were somewhere else for some reason.
Okay. Well, that's a good answer. The Moth in the Flame. We're gonna move on because I've never heard of this. What was your first big show?
21 Pilots.
That was really good.
That was
in Michigan.
I read.
Yeah, wasn't that in Michigan?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's your first memory?
This is not a real thing. People don't. You don't have a first memory until you get old enough where you can't remember the previous memories.
Okay, we'll leave it at that.
No, my first memory is boars. We fed boars out the windows, baby boars. That's not actually a memory, but that's the only think of.
Yeah, so that's kind of what a first memory is. Something that you kind of remember. That was probably the longest, one of those memories that stick out. They weren't boars; they were javelinas. But yeah, same thing. But that's fun. That's cool.
Asked me in the front yard, and then after that, we fed all its babies out the window.
You fed babies out the window?
Yeah, we fed all the babies that we got to the boars.
That was in Tucson, Arizona, by the way. What's the first time you were really angry?
Well, Soul's got a video of one time that he was really angry.
Oh, in the van. Oh, in the van. I'm going to play that video right here.
Don't play the video right there.
Why not? It's so funny.
Because I was so angry.
Was that your answer, though?
Dad never listens when Soul says not to play that video.
I won't play it. If you don't want me to play it, I won't put it in.
Anywhere.
Was that your first angry answer, Soul?
No, probably.
So angry. He was an angry child. He was angry. I don't think there was I think he came out angry.
I was so angry.
And I
Let me out of this.
Yeah. I was ready to leave the womb.
Probably the first time I was angry would it probably be at Dad for something. I don't know. He probably did something.
Well, I don't want to rip the scab off, but I was thinking something to do with pancakes.
Oh yeah. Let me tell you a little story. Okay, let me tell you a story. Something about Soul. Okay, you know everyone loves Soul. He's so funny. Wait till you hear about this.
These are the only people who have said those words are you.
No, that's not true. Let's talk. Okay, so let's fast forward back to 2019.
Or rewind.
Yeah, rewind.
It's rewind time.
Exactly. So we never ever get chocolate in pancakes because we are starved of chocolate. Okay, that is a rarity and it is valuable. So we finally go to this vegan diner and I order myself some delicious, perfect, fluffy chocolate chip pancakes. Okay, and I'm so excited and I know I won't be able to eat them. I'll have to take it home because there's just so many in there and I'm so looking forward to it. So I put it in the fridge and I go to sleep knowing that I have pancakes waiting for me for breakfast. And I wake up
chocolate chip pancake.
I wake up the next day and I look in the fridge and what do I see? Nothing. I see nothing. And you know what? His Soul got in there and he ate all of my chocolate chip pancakes. And that's not the end of this, okay? Soul is on a rampage because maybe a year later, my mom makes the perfect chocolate cake. It is her chocolate and orange cake. It's my favorite cake. That's the best combo. And I'm like, oh, my mom made my chocolate and orange cake. I love that cake. And there was one slice left. Soul and my cousin had already been eating it. And so I said, okay, everybody, that slice of that chocolate cake, I'm going to eat it when I get out of the shower. Okay, so that one's mine. So I go and take a shower. I come out and what do I find? I find my cousin and my brother eating my last slice of chocolate cake. And that's not the last time either, because then another year later,
this last one did not even.
This did happen. Soul he has to deny it. So we go to the restaurant, and I get these delicious, well-seasoned, well-fried sweet potato fries, and and I leave them in the hotel because when you're at the hotel, there's nothing good in life. Everything is sad. So I was sad, and all I had in my life was these sweet potato fries. And I say, Soul, you can have some sweet potato fries, but save me some. And you know what I find when I go back to eat my sweet potato fries? Nothing! Soul had eaten my sweet potato fries, and I cried.
Grudge much?
Wait. I need to tell you one other thing. These are all out to all your Adventure Time fans. I know you have them because you had that one guy on the podcast who loves Adventure Time. And I know you know it too because he told you about it. In Adventure Time, Marceline sings a little song that goes, Daddy, why did you eat my fries? They're mine. Or something like that. And then she says, but you ate them. Yeah, you ate my fries. And I cried, but you didn't see me cry. That was me, except it wasn't Daddy. It was Soul. Soul had eaten my fries, and I cried, and he didn't see me cry.
Well, no, you're also like Ross.
Yeah, that mom, I'm going to steal her joke because no one heard it. Your placement of the joke. But
what
Mom, Soul Eater.
That was good.
That was a good one.
We missed your joke, though, because I spoke.
Did I have a joke?
Yeah, Soul called me Ross. There's this episode of Friends where someone eats Ross's sandwich, and he freaks out.
Someone has edited that, but they edited out all of the laugh tracks and just added horror audio.
It's so scary.
First instrument you learned to play?
Piano. Guitar. No, you learned drums.
No, but I played the piano keys.
First time you got scared from a movie?
Soul's is probably Pee-wee.
Pee-wee.
And mine is Chucky.
That's I do remember those answers.
It was probably the fourth movie that scared me.
I'll tell this story real quickly. When we were driving across the country, as we do often, you guys were really little, and you had the little TVs on the back of the headrest, and you were playing Big Pee-wee's Big Adventure. Soul was really little, and we were just driving, and all of a sudden we just heard Soul scream and cry, and I knew exactly what it was. It was from Large Marge when she turns her head. And I just knew, I was like, oh shit, I forgot about that scene.
You know, it was also scary. And what was it? Not Jessica Rabbit. What's the movie called? Roger Rabbit.
Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
That lady or whoever melts and their eyeballs are just there. That was pretty scary too.
I don't know what sicko is trying to put these things in children's movies, but it's messed up.
Yeah, and the Chucky story, you guys, I talked about Chucky a lot, or you guys love to talk about Chucky. And so I thought,
blame the children.
Well, no. So anyway, I was like, oh, maybe they want to watch Chucky. So
no, that's not how it went.
Let Mom tell the story. Mom tells the story the best.
It goes, I want to show you guys Chucky. And I said, no, these 3 and 4-year-olds can't watch Chucky. It's not gonna work. And this goes on for like a year of arguing. No freaking Chucky. And then you find it in a thrift store one day and you buy it, and so I'm like, well, fine, I guess you're gonna lie in that bed.
And we watched the trailer and we were like, okay, we can watch it. And then we started the movie, and just like that first scene when
5 minutes into the movie,
there's little tiny bloody doll footprints walking out of the toy store, I just started crying, and I had nightmares about Chucky up until I was 12.
Well, I've been in the doghouse ever since. It's much like eating someone's pancake. What's the first time you cried watching a movie?
When I was watching Pee Wee Herman, there was this really terrifying scene.
Probably all of them. I cried during every movie.
That's true.
That movie we saw last night was really good too.
Yeah, that was good.
That was
Did
really.
you guys cry in that movie?
What's that?
There wasn't any crying scenes in that movie,
cried.
though. Oh,
I cried half of it.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, I thought there wasn't any crying parts. That was my movie share, by the way, in your guys' intro. What's the first song you wrote?
I don't know. I was trying to think. I don't think I have one.
I wrote a song.
I'll just play stuff.
I wrote a song about missing my best friend one time, and I don't remember how it went. I think it's on my notes app. And then also, I don't know if that was my first one. I think the first one I wrote, I have it on a piece of paper somewhere in one of these drawers, is called Black Sheep, and I'm pretty sure I stole the song from a different person, the melody, but I wrote the lyrics.
Oh, maybe you should record that someday.
Used to always, when I would send you guys to timeout, Nalei, when you went to timeout, you would go up in your room and you sang the blues. You sang like toddler blues.
Yeah, because I was mad at Mom. I sang about how mean Mom was for sending me into timeout.
And then you'd sing it into a mirror. What's
yeah, you did.
All right, let's move into your worsts. What's the worst sound?
Whispering.
Nalei hates whispering.
I hate whispering. It feels like there's spiders crawling on my back. Or when we were little, when I'd be doing homeschool, and Soul would like.
Oh, you guys are homeschooled?
I'd yell. Yeah, I know, weirdos. I'd yell at Soul for playing the piano while I was doing school, and so he would play it quietly. And that was even worse. I hate quiet sounds. I don't know if you could tell.
I hate loud sounds so much.
That's true. That is funny because
blenders. They shouldn't have even made them. It's not worth the drink if you have to wake up angry all the rest of the day because it's so loud that you feel like crying and throwing things. Well, I want to kill every blender.
For context,
shout out Blender the app for being free.
Well, for context for the audience that are listening, every morning your mom or I make a shake in the blender.
Dad gets so aggressive with his blender. Mom is like, fine. She blends her smoothie. Dad has to like blend
putting rocks in the blender.
Dad has to blend these rocks down 15 million times.
Okay.
And then after you get your blender, you go on your phone and play iPad games. So loud, full volume, slurping your blended soup.
What's the worst word?
I don't know. There's a lot of bad words out there.
I feel like I want to hate on a bunch of your past guests for their past words, but I won't point anyone else. But I think that they were kind of stupid.
Whoa!
What is your worst word then?
I don't know. I don't really have a worst word. Probably a slur is the worst word.
Yeah. Okay.
I hate the word chocolate. It makes me not want to eat chocolate.
Well, why? The sound of it or what?
The way it sounds, the way it's spelled, it's like, I really want chocolate. I love chocolate.
It does make you think about
maybe
scene in Matilda.
Yeah,
like,
whenever
where
that was just
kid
traumatizing.
Chocolate, and she's like, I put my blood, sweat, and tears in that cake, and he's just like crying, eating the chocolate cake.
That scene kind of made me hate chocolate because of how terrible they were to this child.
Well, and I'm wondering if it's the way you pronounce chocolate.
Well, you came up with chocolate. But chocolate, it's just, there's no way to say it and not
sound cool.
terrible.
I can make some sense of that. What's the worst part about camping?
Bugs
All of it.
and being, no offense, guys, but we're stuck with you the whole time.
Oh, God.
And
No offense, but all offense, apparently.
and that's fine, except there's no internet access, so we have no escape.
So your answer is pretty much Soul's answer, all of it.
No, I hate all of camp. I like looking at the stars. That's the best part.
You never know if there's a bear, you have nowhere to use the bathroom, and I am constantly thinking about where I'm going to use the bathroom.
Yeah, bathroom. You can't.
The showers are disgusting.
Kicks
You
are
have to
crawling
shower
on
with
my legs.
toe fungus.
Toe fungus.
Okay, all right.
Yes.
All of it. What's the worst movie?
The Grinch. I hate The Grinch.
I love The Grinch. Cat in the Hat is not the worst movie.
Worst
The
movie.
Cat in the Hat is the best movie. That movie is so funny.
Cat in the Hat is another font of The Grinch.
Okay, what about this? What's worse, The Grinch or The Mask?
The Mask is the worst movie.
So
Beyond The Grinch, The Mask is the worst movie. I watched that movie when I was probably 0 years old, and it on VHS because I don't know why
you're so angry.
VHS TV.
Yeah.
I only had cable and VHS.
My dad fell asleep, and I just watched this terrible. I hate Jim Carrey.
The worst movie is 17 again. Stop trying to date your daughter.
Yes.
And Back to the Future. Hey, let's stop having children date their
Back to
parents.
the Future as much, but that was weird, and I didn't like that.
What's the worst name for a band?
Oh, I was looking in my band. I have a bunch of band names. I have a gajillion of them, and I saw Nasal Laugh, and I was like, "This is not good."
That's a good band name.
That's a good country band name.
Nasal Laugh. What's the worst kid's toy?
Anything that they're making now is so garbage, but they either do, it's either
Poop?
no, it's either girls' toys, which is like glamorous, only sparkles, and also glamorous, and then boys is like poop, stinky fart, poop, stinky fart. I know, I hate it, and it's gross. Trash Pack was the only one that did it right. And then they were like, oh, that was successful. Now let's do all these other gross things.
Hey.
Like, this is not what kids want. You're ruining kids.
Did you know that we met that guy who created the Trash Pack toys?
Yeah, he made the Ninja Turtle toys.
Yeah. I remember that.
I have a Ninja Turtle toy. Shout out to my friend Lily for giving it to me.
Shout out.
Nice.
Wait, what did you
Splinter.
About that new Ninja Turtle movie.
Oh, that was good.
It was so
I
good.
loved it.
It was.
And Io Edinbury or something like that. She's been in every single movie I've watched, basically. So shout out to her.
I thought it was awful. They tried to baby shark my De La Soul, and I gave up right
Yeah, mom does not like that, but well, it was really good. What's the worst musical era?
Probably something in like the 1700s.
No, that's not true because they had some. What's his name? Debussy. That's some
Yeah,
good
was
stuff.
that 1700? I learned about classical music in my
Classical music is good.
thing, and I do like it, but no, I don't think there's a worse musical era.
Yeah, maybe the Renaissance.
Yeah, that wasn't.
Yeah.
That didn't go as hard as everyone.
The flutes
thought
and
it.
the flutes and that little guitar thing. What is
Yeah,
that called?
exactly. With the puffy pants.
Yeah, with the broken car neck.
What's the worst part about traveling?
Being in the car for 17 hours with a trailer that does this. And you can't sleep in the new truck. And you just have to live.
The worst part about traveling in the olden days was probably that we had to sleep in the van and all share a bed in the deadliest Florida heat. That with no with fans that kept breaking or they'd fall on your head.
The worst part of traveling is knowing we have to go to Florida.
I agree.
No, the worst part about traveling is it's lonely and there's zero privacy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good answer. What's the worst smell?
Nalei.
No.
Probably a stinky fart.
Like caca.
Caca on the wall.
Yeah.
Who's the worst TV sitcom character?
Ross. I think he's essential to the show, but he
really sucks.
He sucks.
He
So bad.
hates lesbians, he hates women, and he's just mean.
He's mean.
And also, probably that guy from Seinfeld, the one who said the N-word.
Oh, but his TV character was funny.
I think he's annoying.
Oh, yeah, you guys are younger. Yeah, I get that. I can see that. All right, let's go on to your favorites. Favorite YouTuber?
Oh, I have a list. Sorry. Okay, probably Dan and Phil, Johnny Gilbert, Trixie and Katya, Watcher, Cody Ko, Danny Gonzalez, Drew Monson, and Markiplier.
Nice.
I'm basically just watching Nalei watch those.
Oh, and Jenna Marbles.
What's your favorite podcast?
What? You didn't even tell us.
You didn't even tell us this. Okay, I'll give you guys some good podcasts to listen to. I listen to a lot of podcasts. Maybe not a lot of podcasts, but okay. Starting with Dear Hank and John.
Dear Hank and John is good.
John Green and Hank Green, they're brothers, they're science people. And then Goodime. If there's any Goodimers, there's probably zero Goodimers, but it's a good podcast.
Okay, looking it up.
Distractable. I listen to
Distractable.
Sleep.
Yeah,
Sad Voice is good. Very, really good is Can Be Hater sometimes.
So that kind of fell off.
Yeah, and then Unqualified, the podcast, a random podcast I found on Instagram. They're really funny. And then Cool Dog is also really funny at times. And then Sweet Boys is also really funny. And then Jenna and Julian podcast is also really good.
The best podcast is Obituary because, I like death. I don't like death. I like the concept of death.
Okay, you weirdo.
Favorite Mighty Boosh character?
Vince Noir. He's just so iconic.
Vince Noir's brother is really funny.
Naboo.
The favorite concert you attended?
Bikini Kill.
I thought they were all really good.
Bikini Kill, even though I had to pee so bad and I had a headache and I was super hot.
Oh yeah, I was gonna faint.
You guys were up at front row at that Bikini Kill show.
And that's why I couldn't do anything about it, like get water, use the bathroom, or sit down, is because I was feet away from her.
That's the downside of being up front row is you're there for the whole concert.
Yeah.
Or Destroy Boys, which I saw at a music festival.
Oh, cool. Your favorite comedian?
I wrote mine down. Okay.
We both like John Mulaney.
Oh, what's that guy? And Andy.
Oh, Andy Samberg.
Andy Samberg. And then John Mulaney, James A. Caster, Kristen Wiig, is that her name?
Yeah.
And Melissa McCarthy.
Oh, nice. Favorite Adam Sandler movie?
There's that Waterboys one.
The Waterboys one is only good because it has that girl from
Fairuza Balk.
The Witch movie.
Fairuza Balk, yeah.
Yeah.
Water sucks. It really, really sucks. Favorite cereal?
Cinnamon Toast Crunch, or none of them.
You know, I've fallen off of the sugary cereals. But I like this one that we have now. What's it called?
I think you said you hated it.
Shredded wheat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's good.
But the O's, what are the O's called? Cheerios? Those
Cheerios?
things smell bad.
Smell bad?
Yeah, and I have to brush my teeth after I eat them because the aftertaste is so gross to
I
me.
feel like they make your pee smell too. Not your pee, but people's pee. I think they make
Yeah,
pee
mom
smell
goes
weird.
around sniffing her kids' pee.
Favorite British TV show?
Okay, I also made.
I'll just let Nalei answer.
Okay, so we have Doctor Who, Feel Good, Mighty Boosh, Good Omens, The IT Crowd, Dairy Girl Stage, Taskmaster, and Heartstopper.
Oh, good answers. Favorite children's show?
Okay, I also have this written down. Adventure
I
Time.
agree with all of these ones, by the way.
Adventure Time, Monster High, Gravity Falls, Boy Meets World, Wild Kratts, Rugrats, Cyber Chase, Scooby-Doo, Hannah Montana, Ninja Turtles, DuckTales, Backyardigans, Yo Gabba Gabba.
And to add on that,
Gabba
Batman
Gabba.
Brave and the Bold was also really good.
Yeah, wow, that's crazy. I forgot that we used to watch that Miley, what's that show called?
Hannah
Hannah
Montana.
Montana. We watch that all the time.
Yeah.
What's the what? And then didn't that spin off? Didn't her brother go into a karate show?
Yeah, I was kicking it. I can't believe it. Thanks for
Kicking It.
reminding us. Kicking It was such a good show.
Yeah, you guys loved that one. Kicking It with you, or just Kicking It?
Just Kicking It.
Oh.
That's such a good. It wasn't a spin-off, but it still had that actor. He's in like he's still in Disney.
What's your favorite TV sitcom?
I don't watch a lot of sitcoms, but I watch Nalei watching a lot of
I watch a lot of
sitcoms. And my favorite of hers are, well, you tell yours first.
Okay, so we have Boy Meets World again. I think that's my favorite. Then we have Friends. I haven't seen The Nanny in a while, but shout out to The Nanny because I think it made me who I am today. Dairy Girls. I'm watching Parks and Rec right now, and it's really good. Flight of the Conchords, of course, and I was watching Sister Sister for a while, and that's a good movie.
Yeah.
Also, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Yeah, we watched that for a bit, and then we kind of stopped. But I agree, all of those are good. The Office, I watched The Office all once, and I thought it was pretty good. But I wouldn't say it's my favorite one.
Favorite album when you were younger?
21 Pilots. It was the only album I had on Apple Music, and the only album I had in UK, so I spent all my time listening to 21 Pilots.
Yeah.
Because I had my headphones in the entire time.
Me too.
What's your favorite album now?
Viva La Woman or 13 Tales of Love and Revenge.
I have so many favorite albums, but the only one I could think of right now was I really like Hive Mind by The Internet. That one's really good.
Oh, cool. So yeah, good. So people can go check those out if they're old like me, because I haven't heard either one of them. Any of them.
Viva La Woman. Janice, she almost went and saw Viva La Woman, but she ditched it to do something lamer because of her friends didn't want to go. So shout out to Janice.
Oh, that's what that is. Yeah. That is kind of a missed
Janice
opportunity.
Yeah, Janice Ho. I heard about Viva La Woman from Buffy. Yeah.
Oh, also,
The Vampire Slayer.
this is not my favorite album at all, but I did get this on CD. Is Tasty by Kellis. That's the one with the milkshake song.
Well, you
in it.
love Kellis. Right? You're always talking about Kellis and how great she is and how
When was
many
I ever
good-
talking about
Joel
Kellis?
does talk about her a lot.
No.
how many good
See, what
songs she
happened was-
actually really does have besides just Milkshake. I
No.
swear.
My
No?
milkshake is better than yours.
Am I wrong? Because I feel like you're always talking about Kellis.
Oh, that's Kellis right there.
Oh, that is not even close.
What?
Gosh,
What's your,
she doesn't look anything like that. Obviously, it's not her.
I don't
What's
even know what's on your shirt.
Is it Beetlejuice?
It's Beetlejuice from the Stern
Oh.
Show. What's your favorite late night snack?
Let me tell you about this: chocolate, yogurt, and berries, popcorn, apples, and applesauce, and broccoli. Frozen broccoli that you microwave with cheese.
I like
Nice.
I like just going and getting chips and eating them in my room. While I
Yes,
watch
it's true.
while I watch a video essay.
Soul eater. What's your favorite place to travel?
I like New Orleans, but also I like I also like Samoa.
Where? Oh,
Samoa.
Samoa. Yeah.
I like Samoa, the UK, or Chicago.
Brilliant. Okay, well,
Wait!
we've been. Oh, what?
I wanted to add my own pick. Favorite movies are Heathers. That's all.
Just Heather?
I
What about you?
I couldn't think of the rest.
What about you? So you got a favorite movie?
Scott Pilgrim. Oh, okay.
No, they're all pretty good.
I think we've got a sense of who you guys are as people. Thank you so much for. We've been served the dish by Nalei and Soul from Slugghead. Thank you guys. That was fantastic.
Yummy dish.
I'm worn out. Wow, I'm surprised.
It's so good.
What can we plug? Well, we're plugging it right now. The live show, the album release show is at Mark of the Beastro, aka the Beehive. The Beehive is a venue located inside of Mark of the Beastro. That's 666 South State Street. That's just their address. Doesn't
Salt Lake City.
The show starts at what time?
7. It's
7
all
p.m.
ages and it's free.
All ages free show, and you would like people to dress up for the show?
If you want to.
What does that mean?
Mom was trying to answer the question for a friend of ours who came by yesterday who said, dress up. What are you guys dressing up? I'm going to wear a costume. Mom was saying, I don't know what it means to dress up. So what do you mean when you suggest dressing up?
Dress up fancy, silly, scary, fun,
normal,
crazy.
So you mean wear clothes?
Yeah, well, just basically dress up in anything you don't usually wear.
That's just suggested. That makes it more fun.
Yeah, it's suggested, and if you don't, you're lame.
No, Nalei, you're not lame.
You will be shunned.
No, you will not be
I'll put you out in the
shunned.
crowd, and I'll roast you.
And what do you say, since you're both currently underage, what's the best way for people to stay informed with your music?
At Slugghead_the band on Instagram.
Okay. And then where do you prefer people where would you like them to listen to your music? Spotify or wherever?
Spotify is what I use because it's easy, but we're everywhere, so.
Okay.
Okay, we better let you go.
All right.
For real this time.
Yeah. Okay. Final words. Do you guys have final words for the people?
Hey, people, there's a lot of crazy stuff going on in the world right now. Make sure you stay informed. It's crazy and it's not very fun all the time, but stay informed about things. Don't just be ignorant, because a lot of people you could be helping a lot of people.
Yeah, just care.
Yeah, care.
Okay, great words from Slugghead. Thank you so much for joining us, and we look forward to seeing your guys' live show, your first live show at Mark of the Bistro on December 28th.
Peanut butter and jelly on your way out.
Okay, have a good day at work. Thank you.
Bye.
Eat before you go.
Yeah, I'm gonna eat.
I'm hungry.
Thanks, guys. Nalei and Soul Taeoalii were raised on all kinds of music. Obviously, I have eccentric taste in music, but I listen to a lot of independent indie hip hop, so they got a lot of that in their docket, but a lot of blues music, a lot of great music. So, yeah, that was fun. What do you think? Did you learn anything about our kids?
No. Other than they are cute.
Yeah, everything by saying no, you didn't learn anything. What you mean is it's nothing new. You already knew all of this.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're vocal. Well, Nalei's vocal.
Soul is too.
I know. Well, yeah, she's definitely more vocal when you're just talking with Soul. Oh, that was fun. And I guess I don't really have anything else to wrap up with on that. Other than, once again, their show, it is their first live performance. They did perform at the Old Blue Gallery and Guest House grand opening. We had a grand opening for our gallery in Hannibal, Missouri, and they performed live there. They weren't necessarily supposed to, but they performed a couple of songs with our
no, they were. They were planning.
Oh, that's right.
They were supposed to. They did a couple songs on guitar.
But it wasn't like their show. It was just they got up and performed. And
right.
cool.
So I think that helps them not have fears about getting up for this one.
Yeah, and you know what? I think it's going to help me is I'm not going to cry at the show because I already saw them performing live, at the gallery show, and I was back in the way back crying, and Natasha's dad, good old Gary, came by, and I was like crying. He's like, I think he even kind of started to cry. It was pretty cool. Just so you know, like as a father, you're real proud of your kids. And so I remember the first time I heard Nalei's song. I don't think it's on one of her albums. She made that song. Do you remember what it was?
She sang me a song on Mother's Day and had me in tears.
Yeah.
It was who's that girl who did the song that Dibs was saying he was bumping around with Brett in the car?
Oh yeah,
that girl
yeah.
had like a song for Mom, and Nalei did it. Played the guitar, and that made me cry.
Speaking real quickly too, both Sage Francis and Mr. Dibs were going to come in with the question. Sage is definitely wanting to stick with his.
Yeah, there's nothing.
His segment is the social media lurk, and our kids' accounts are private because they're underage. There was nothing really for him to lurk, and he definitely wants to stay within that segment. So in the spirit of that segment, there really wasn't much for him to lurk. And then, man, I had phone conversations with Mr. Dibs prior to this recording. The day we recorded, he was, this episode, he's boarding a plane to go for his show in Minneapolis with Plain Old Bill and a bunch of other people, and Brett Fullerton's also performing at that show. And he just really could not get the time. But he, while we were on the phone, he was coming up with all these ideas for questions. So he had a lot of really good ideas for some questions he wanted to ask our kids. And he just time-wise couldn't make it work out, which is kind of a bummer because, but I get it. But it would have been fun to have the questions that he had for him. He told me some secret stuff. Well, I can't bring that up here on the show, but I'll tell you about it after the show. There you go. That was Slugghead. I'm very proud of them as our children, and I'm a fan of their music. That's how they are at home. I'll put that out there. That's our family dynamic. We spend, since they were kids, we've been on the road together. We're together 24/7. We're now reaching, Nalei's turning 18. We're reaching in a time when she's going to, the kids are going to get older and start moving on. That's going to be a tough thing for both of us. But we have a real tight unit, and we operate like that. So I hope that if you watch this whole episode and saw it all, this is really how our family is together. It's fun. So we're lucky. All right, everybody. Thanks for joining us on the DOD45 Show. Adrian, do you have any final words?
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Holy cow. 2024 is right around the corner. What a friggin' surprise. Got some cool guests coming up. Finally, I don't want to jinx it, but Buck65 is going to be joining us on an episode of the DOD45 Show. We just haven't locked in the date, but that's really exciting. Cut Chemist is going to be joining us, and there's a few others that I'm not at liberty to say, but both those two have confirmed. We just haven't confirmed a date, but that's really exciting stuff. Oh, I was talking with Jeffrey Jail from Anacon. I just call him Jail, but sometimes people don't know what the hell I'm talking about. But I was talking with Jail, and he was thinking it might be cool to have him, Buck65, Dibs, and Dose on for their group collaboration. Oh yeah, North American Adonis. Yeah, so he was saying that would be cool to have them all, and that would be fantastic.
That would be a little crazy, though.
It would be crazy, but that's okay. Crazy's good. We just went through a Crazy with Strange Famous Records of 15 people all talking, and
but I don't want.
Okay.
I don't want Buck to just do this one instead of his own.
No. So those are going to be separate. Haven't even lined that up. Jell just mentioned that could be cool because we were going to have him on again, and then he thought, oh, maybe we could do the North American Adonis. Yeah, but yeah, Buck65 we're having on just him.
Yeah, because Dibs is on 2 of those.
Yeah. Well, and thank you to Mr. Dibs. He lined both those up. We were on the phone talking about something, and yeah, he's like, I'm calling Rich. That's Buck65. He's like, I'm calling him right now. And then all of a sudden my phone was dinging. He's like, gave me the contact to both of them. He said, I talked to both. Reach out to them now. Cut Chemist and Buck65. So, okay. Thank you, everybody. if you're in Salt Lake City, if you're anywhere near Utah, go see Slugghead. It's a really short show. The show starts at 7. It's only a half-hour set, so don't show up late. This is not one of those shows where you want to be fashionably late, because if you're fashionably late, you miss the entire show. And I listened to their whole rehearsal last night. It's good. It's fun. It's danceable. So if you like to dance, you can groove. There you go. December 28th, 7 p.m., Slugghead. Their album release show, Vamps in Space. Thanks for joining us on the DOD45 show. Please go to ArtByTai.com and purchase some prints. I got a bunch of originals on discounted price. We need to move some artwork. Got to pay the bills around here. ArtByTai.com, DOD45.com.
And happy drawing and happy rehearsing and
Happy drawing, happy conversing, and thanks for conspiring with
thought
us.
Coercing.
DOD45.
Thank you for joining in on yet another episode of the DOD45 Show. Please hit the subscribe or follow button so that you never miss an episode. You can even go one step further by leaving us a review on the YouTube stream or on Spotify, Apple Podcast, or wherever it is that you stream our show from. You can find me at ArtByTai on all the socials or at ArtByTai.com. And if you'd like to follow the DOD45 Show on social media, we're at DOD45W on Instagram, or you can go over to our website at DOD45.com, where you can shoot us an email, join our mailing list, and watch all of our past episodes. Consider joining us for a live chat on the YouTube premieres of episodes every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. Peace.